Hello, Resurrection. It's Wednesday, January the 25th. Uh, Last night, we had what I hope will be our final budget meeting for the 2023 budget. You know, it's just like the church to be 1/12 of the way through the year and still not have an operating budget. But actually, most churches in the diocese do it that way. Most churches in the Episcopal Church do it that way. Even the diocese does it that way. We operate about a month before we have a budget. It seems to always work out okay. And that's funny because that was the kind of the theme of the meeting last night, that when we started putting the 2023 budget together about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we were looking at about an $80,000 shortfall in the budget. And then we worked and we cut and we rearranged and prayed, and over time that shortfall decreased and decreased and decreased until it got down to about $30,000, and I was still breathing into a paper bag over that $30,000 budget shortfall. And last night we ended up with a not only a balanced budget, but a comfortably balanced budget. I was really pleased with how the budget turned out this year. There's not a penny extra. There never is a penny extra, but the budget just seemed to kind of all fall into place. And I thank you so much for making that happen. One thing that I think some other places in the Episcopal Church do it a little better than our diocese does it. In some other dioceses, it takes a vote of the parish to pass a budget, whereas in Tennessee it takes a vote of just the vestry. And not that I don't trust the vestry to do a perfectly admirable job with our budget, but then a lot of times the parish doesn't know what's going on with the budget. So I think beginning with the budgeting process next year, I think we're going to have a series, or at least one, but maybe a series of meetings for the parish, budget meetings for the parish. And not everyone will be interested in that, but for those who are interested, and for the sake of transparency, yeah, just open that meeting wide open. Of course, they're all open, but invite the parish to a budget meeting for them to see how the sausage is made. And like I said, not everybody will be interested in that, but some will. But the theme of last night's meeting, we sat around and feeling pretty grateful after all the numbers started lining up, and we reminded ourselves that we worship an on time God. Right? God is not in a hurry. He never is, and he is often, very often, last minute, because he wants us to trust him, and he wants us to see what he's done for him. A parishioner and I were talking about that this morning, that God probably waits till the last minute sometimes because he wants us to know. He wants us to see that these wonderful, miraculous things are of him. They are his doing, and they are marvelous in our eyes. So why would God want us to know what he was doing for him? Why wouldn't he just do it and keep that on the quiet? Well, he asks us to do that, right? Because we're not the ones who are worthy of honor and glory and worship. Uh, Only he is worthy of that, and that's what he wants us to do for him. That's what he made us for, and he gives us what we need, often at the very last minute, to remind us or to show us that it's him who did that, that we couldn't do it without him. So we have a responsibility when that happens, and the responsibility is that we tell the world what he's done for us. God answers a prayer for you. Good. Tell the world about it. Tell the world what he did for you. The Something fell into place at the last moment. I had a friend who was at one time, he called me as he was driving into his office to give his resignation to his boss. He was in just a really difficult situation with his work. He called me to say, "I'm driving into the office right now to resign." And I said, "Well, friend, what are you going to do?" And he said, "I do not know. I don't have any idea. I trust that God will take care of me, and I don't have any idea." And as he pulled into the parking lot to walk in to give his resignation. His phone rang, and it was from someone else offering him a job, a wonderful job. And in every way, it changed his entire career trajectory, and he is doing wonderful, wonderful things for the people of God right now. And he is the first person that I heard say, "Our God is a last-minute God," and I think his wife was the one who taught him that phrase. Our God is a last-minute God. He wants us to see. And I saw it last night. And we see it all the time. I saw it last night, and I just want to tell you about it, that our God has always taken care of us, taken good care of us. There is never a penny extra, ever. But we don't need a penny extra. All we need is just enough, and we have it. Thank you, God, for what you have done for us. Thank you, God, for what you have done for this parish. Thank you, God, for the people of this parish, and show us how it is that we can spread your kingdom throughout the world, and help us to tell that entire world what it is that you've done for us. Good children of resurrection, I love you, and I'll see you this very Sunday.